Greetings, time travelers, and welcome back to Relic Reflections, where the echoes of history come alive. I'm Noah, your intrepid host, ready to guide you through the corridors of time. Today, we're setting our compasses towards the dazzling era of the Crusades, where valor clashed with virtue and legends were forged in the fires of conquest. But amidst the clash of swords and the thunder of hooves, one name shines like a beacon of hope: Saladin. Picture this: a warrior poet, a master tactician, and a paragon of chivalry, all wrapped in one formidable figure. From the sands of the Middle East to the halls of Jerusalem, his story is a tapestry woven with threads of courage, cunning, and compassion. Join me as we step into the footsteps of this iconic hero, from his humble beginnings in Tikrit to his triumphs on the battlefield. But our quest doesn't end there. Oh no, we'll delve into the mysteries of Saladin's legacy, exploring how his legend has endured through the ages and captured the imagination of cultures far and wide. So, grab your swords and saddle up your steeds, my friends, for we are about to embark on an epic adventure through the sands of time. Prepare to be dazzled, amazed, and inspired as we uncover the untold secrets of Saladin, the Sultan of Saladin, the Lion of Islam. To understand Saladin's significance, we must delve deeper into the historical context of the Crusades. The Crusades were a series of religious wars initiated by European Christians with the aim of reclaiming Jerusalem and other holy sites from Muslim control. These conflicts spanned several centuries, starting in the late 11th century. The First Crusade, launched in 1095, saw European armies march into the Holy Land, capturing Jerusalem in 1099. This marked the beginning of a period of Christian rule in the region, known as the Kingdom of Jerusalem. However, Muslim resistance persisted, leading to subsequent crusades aimed at maintaining Christian control. During this time, the Islamic world was also undergoing significant political and social changes. The Seljuk Turks had established their dominance over much of the Middle East, including Jerusalem, which they had wrested from the control of the Fatimid Caliphate. Saladin's rise to power coincided with this tumultuous period. Born into a Kurdish family in Tikrit, Iraq in 1137, Saladin initially served the Zengid dynasty, rulers of Mosul and Aleppo. It was during this time that he honed his military skills and gained valuable experience in warfare. Following the death of his uncle Shirkuh, Saladin emerged as the de facto leader of the Zengid forces in Egypt. In 1169, he seized control of Cairo, effectively establishing himself as the ruler of Egypt and founding the Ayyubid dynasty. Saladin's conquest of Egypt marked the beginning of his ascent to power. From his base in Cairo, he embarked on a campaign to unite the Muslim world under his rule and confront the Crusader states in the Levant. In 1171, Saladin abolished the Fatimid Caliphate and proclaimed himself Sultan of Egypt, solidifying his control over the region. With Egypt firmly under his command, he turned his attention to the Crusader states, which had long been a thorn in the side of the Muslim world. In 1187, Saladin achieved his greatest victory at the Battle of Hattin, where his forces decisively defeated the Crusader army led by King Guy of Jerusalem. This paved the way for the reconquest of Jerusalem, which fell to Saladin's army shortly thereafter. Saladin's capture of Jerusalem sent shockwaves throughout the Christian world and earned him a reputation as a fearsome adversary. However, his treatment of the city's Christian inhabitants demonstrated his commitment to chivalry and tolerance, earning him praise even from his enemies. Rise to power. Saladin's rise to power was marked by ambition, military prowess, and strategic alliances. After consolidating his control over Egypt, he turned his attention to expanding his influence in the Levant and confronting the Crusader states. With Egypt firmly under his rule, Saladin embarked on a series of military campaigns aimed at weakening the Crusader presence in the region. His first major conquest was the capture of Aleppo in 1183, a significant blow to the Zengid dynasty and a demonstration of his growing power. Saladin's conquest of Aleppo solidified his position as a formidable leader in the region and earned him the respect of both his allies and adversaries. However, his ambitions did not stop there. He continued to expand his territory, capturing key cities such as Mosul and Damascus, and establishing himself as the preeminent ruler in the Levant. One of Saladin's most remarkable achievements was his unification of the Muslim world under his leadership. Despite the political and religious divisions that had long plagued the Islamic world, Saladin managed to rally Muslims from various backgrounds and sects behind a common cause. His ability to forge alliances and navigate the complexities of regional politics was unparalleled. He cultivated relationships with powerful leaders and tribes, offering them incentives and rewards in exchange for their loyalty. This diplomatic acumen was instrumental in his success on the battlefield and his ability to maintain control over his vast empire. Saladin's rise to power was not without its challenges. He faced opposition from rival factions within the Islamic world, as well as external threats from the Crusader states and European powers. However, his military skill, strategic vision, and unwavering determination enabled him to overcome these obstacles and emerge as one of the most influential figures of his time. Conquest of Jerusalem. One of the defining moments of Saladin's career was his conquest of Jerusalem in 1187. The city, revered by Muslims, Christians, and Jews alike, had been under Crusader control for nearly a century following its capture during the First Crusade. Saladin's campaign to recapture Jerusalem began with the decisive Battle of Hattin in July 1187. Facing off against the Crusader army led by King Guy of Jerusalem, Saladin employed superior tactics and strategic maneuvering to secure a resounding victory. The defeat of the Crusaders at Hattin paved the way for the reconquest of Jerusalem and marked a turning point in the Crusades. Following his victory at Hattin, Saladin swiftly moved to besiege Jerusalem, laying siege to the city for several weeks. Despite facing determined resistance from the Crusader defenders, Saladin's forces eventually breached the city's defenses, leading to its surrender on October 2, 1187. Saladin's capture of Jerusalem sent shockwaves throughout the Christian world and solidified his reputation as a formidable adversary. However, what set Saladin apart from many conquerors of his time was his treatment of the city's Christian inhabitants. Contrary to the brutal sack and pillage often associated with medieval conquests, Saladin showed remarkable restraint and compassion towards the residents of Jerusalem. He granted amnesty to those who wished to leave the city peacefully and ensured the safety of the Christian population, allowing them to worship freely and maintain control of their holy sites. Saladin's chivalrous conduct during the conquest of Jerusalem earned him praise even from his enemies and cemented his reputation as a paragon of honor and virtue. His actions stood in stark contrast to the atrocities committed by Crusader forces during previous conquests, further enhancing his image as a noble and magnanimous leader. The recapture of Jerusalem by Saladin dealt a severe blow to the Crusader states and marked the beginning of the end of Christian rule in the Holy Land. While Jerusalem would change hands several times in the centuries that followed, Saladin's conquest left an indelible mark on the region and remains a symbol of Muslim resilience and determination. Legacy and impact. Saladin's legacy extends far beyond his military conquests and political achievements. He is revered in the Islamic world as a symbol of unity, justice, and piety, and his name is synonymous with the defense of Muslim lands against foreign aggression. One of Saladin's most enduring legacies is his role in unifying the Muslim world under his leadership. Despite the political and religious divisions that had long plagued the Islamic world, Saladin managed to rally Muslims from various backgrounds and sects behind a common cause. His ability to forge alliances and foster cooperation among disparate factions was instrumental in his success on the battlefield and his ability to maintain control over his vast empire. Saladin's chivalrous conduct during his military campaigns also left a lasting impression on both his contemporaries and future generations. Unlike many conquerors of his time, Saladin showed compassion and restraint towards his enemies, earning him praise even from those who opposed him. His treatment of prisoners of war, his respect for the sanctity of religious sites, and his adherence to the principles of honor and integrity made him a revered figure, not only in the Islamic world but also in the West. In addition to his military and political achievements, Saladin's legacy is also evident in his contributions to Islamic culture and civilization. He was a patron of the arts, sciences, and literature, and his court in Cairo was a center of intellectual and cultural activity. Saladin's patronage helped foster a flourishing of learning and creativity, which had a profound impact on the development of Islamic civilization. Saladin's influence extends beyond the Islamic world and continues to be felt in Western culture as well. He has been depicted in literature, art, and film as a noble and chivalrous figure, admired for his courage, wisdom, and compassion. While interpretations of Saladin vary depending on cultural and historical context, his character remains a subject of fascination and admiration for people around the world. Saladin in Western culture. Saladin's portrayal in Western culture has evolved over the centuries, reflecting changing attitudes towards the Islamic world and the Crusades. From medieval chronicles to modern films, Saladin has been depicted in various ways, ranging from a noble adversary to a symbol of Orientalism. In medieval Europe, Saladin was often portrayed as a worthy opponent to the Crusaders, admired for his military skill and chivalrous conduct. Chronicles such as the Chronicles of the Crusades by William of Tyre and the Song of Roland depicted Saladin as a formidable warrior and a paragon of honor and virtue. During the Renaissance, Saladin's image underwent a transformation as European attitudes towards the Islamic world became more ambivalent. While he was still admired for his military prowess, he was also portrayed as a cunning and treacherous foe, embodying the perceived exoticism and danger of the East. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, Saladin became a popular subject in Orientalist literature and art, which romanticized and exoticized the Islamic world. Artists and writers such as Eugène Delacroix and Sir Walter Scott depicted Saladin as a noble and dignified figure, surrounded by the trappings of Oriental luxury. In more recent times, Saladin has been the subject of numerous films, television shows, and novels, which have presented varying interpretations of his character and legacy. Films such as Kingdom of Heaven and Saladin the Victorious have portrayed him as a complex and multifaceted figure, grappling with issues of faith, duty, and honor. Despite the diversity of portrayals, Saladin remains a compelling and enduring figure in Western culture, admired for his courage, wisdom, and compassion. While his image may have been shaped by historical and cultural biases, his legacy continues to inspire and captivate audiences around the world. Conclusion. As we conclude our journey into the life and legacy of Saladin, it's clear that his impact transcends time and borders. From his humble beginnings in Tikrit, Iraq, to his rise as one of the most influential leaders in Islamic history, Saladin's story is one of courage, perseverance, and honor. Throughout his life, Saladin exemplified the virtues of integrity, compassion, and unity. Whether on the battlefield or in the halls of power, he remained true to his principles and ideals, earning the respect and admiration of friends and foes alike. Saladin's legacy continues to inspire and captivate people of all backgrounds and faiths. His example serves as a timeless reminder of the power of integrity, compassion, and unity in the face of adversity, and his name remains synonymous with justice, honor, and dignity. As we reflect on Saladin's life and legacy, let us not only celebrate his achievements, but also strive to embody the values that he stood for. In a world often divided by conflict and strife, Saladin's example reminds us of the importance of compassion, tolerance, and understanding in building a more just and peaceful future for all. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Saladin's life. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more historical content. Until next time, this is Noah from Relic Reflections, signing off.